I did.
Sorry, I got to get the microphone. You spoke to us about winning the second half, and that didn't quite happen.
No, it sure didn't. And again, that's it's frustrating. We have to understand how sometimes these games are going to go, and we just didn't do enough in the second half. Give them credit, and we certainly didn't do enough. We were too many missed opportunities, too many penalties. Things, the turnover and things that just, again, just didn't take advantage of bad football, and then we're able to, have bad football ourselves. So, we have to. We're never going to accept winning. We have to embrace moving on, and we have to do that quickly and get these things fixed and go on the road in a division opponent.
Mike, I guess how surprised were you by that second half, and what do you learn from it that you can take it to next week?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by anything. I'm surprised that. I just want to see. Now we'll see where we're at. We'll see what kind of football team we have, what kind of leaders we have, to be able to come back in here and get to work. And I think that'll be the true test. We always talk about culture and everything else, and we'll see where we're at as a culture and as a team, and if we have guys that want to work and stick together, it'll be a big challenge to do that.
How would you assess Will Campbell's performance in his NFL debut?
I think that's tough right now, Nicole. I apologize. I got to look at the tape. I just, again, I'm sure there's going to be some good plays, some plays we'd like to have back that he would like to have back. I think that would go for pretty much everybody. And I think that there was some good football, just certainly not consistent enough in all three phases. And that's kind of what it looked like for me. And I'll try to give you a little better answer after looking at the tape.
Mike, I know it's hard to match with them given Genty and Bowers, but they seem to be running pretty well when you guys went three corner, and then obviously throw on you a little bit late when you went base. Can you just talk about the thought process?
Well, just trying to mix it up. They really, we didn't think that the run game had hurt us, and then they picked us a couple times, and they hit a couple long ones. And they hit some X plays, which we talked about that being a key. So, we'll get back together. And I thought we settled down really well defensively. I thought the first drive was, not our best. And then I thought we settled down. I thought they played well. I thought they played hard. We just, weren't able to make enough there in the end. And again, I made a decision, on 4th and 10 with, close to 5 minutes to punt. Would like a better punt, and we had them stopped, and that was the plan, and that didn't work. And then they hit one, and we just didn't have enough time there at the end to do anything. That was the decision, that I thought was best for us at the time, and that didn't work out. But situationally, we'll have to continue to improve. We moved the ball, we made the kick, we tried the onside. So again, it's just you can't get down 2 scores late in the game.
Over here, Mike. After Andy's kick in the first half, the team went nearly 2 quarters without getting the scoreboard again. Did the Raiders do anything different on defense? And what did you see?
They mixed in some pressure and a little bit of mixed coverage, and but again, give them credit, and we'll have to come back, and we'll have to be better and more balanced and be able to run the football without making it 1st and 20. We overcame some of those, but just too difficult. And but again, it's a start, not the one that we wanted, and we got a long way to go, and we're going to be resolved to get it fixed. And the people that are here are going to be committed to getting it fixed together.
Coach, you mentioned the Raiders offense. I was wondering what, from your perspective, led to some of those plays and things you can improve moving forward.
Well, man, just knowing, understanding the coverage, understanding, eyes, and I think it all goes into sometimes the call, and they had a good call for what we had on, or a guy made a play, kind of, when you look at X plays in general, it's offensively you scheme them up about 35% of the time, and about 65% of the time somebody makes a play. And so I would say that the same would go defensively, that sometimes we're not in the best call and they scheme us up, and then other times somebody makes a play and just like we were able to get our hand on a football, they go 13 personnel, and we were pretty adamant that they were going to throw, and they tried to hit 89. We tipped it, and we made a play. But we just have to have more of those, and we have to create some more turnovers.
Hey, Mike, I don't know if this falls in the same category as Nicole's question, but how would you assess Drake's performance? Looked like there were some struggles under pressure in this game.
Again, without looking at the tape, I thought there were some good positive plays and really good command of what we were doing. And then there were times where maybe we or he missed somebody, and we'll have to see. And it's a challenge playing quarterback in this league, and we got to help them out. We have to be more balanced. We have to use our run actions and be able to run the football. It's hard to turn it into a drop back passing game in this league. I mean, that's just the facts. And then they're up 2 scores and they're in their third down package, and that we just don't want to ever live in that world. So we all can be better, and whether that's me and the coaching staff and Drake and Will and everybody that you asked about. Like that's the attitude that we're going to take. That's the belief that we're going to take. We're disappointed, but we can't sit there and hold on to it too long. We got to go on the road, and we got to play a division opponent, and we got to embrace moving on. And I think that's what we're going to try to do. So thank you.
Players expected in here will be May, Landry, Spillane, Hawkins, and Booty. And I think Hawkins is coming in.
A lot of good things for you guys defensively, and then kind of struggled at times. What'd you take out of this one that you can build on and move on to from next week?
I would say, man, for one, it wasn't good enough. We got to focus on the details, the little things that got us beat. No matter what call, no matter what we're in, we got to find a way. And that means, honing in on the details, playing team defense, not chasing things, and coming out that second half and carrying that momentum and finishing the second half. That's the biggest thing, and sticking together through that as a team and as a unit. So, yeah.
Jalen saw a lot of single coverage, including yourself, against Brock Bowers. Off the top of your head, can you do your best to remember kind of the plan going in against him, and specifically when you guys sent extra help?
We had a couple of doubles on him. We had some plans where we're leaning him and stuff like that. He did his thing, man. He had a good game. Good player. He did his thing. So, yeah. Okay.
Jalen over here. Thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Right there. Thank you. A lot obviously to improve on in this game. You did have that interception. Can you tell us what you saw on that play?
Just back there in the post, reading the quarterback, kind of seen his back foot, triggered, and went and trusted myself, and the ball fell in my hands. So rush and coverage married up together. We had good rush. The boys up front was doing their thing, and then we had good coverage, from the corners and nickel, and it all worked together.
Jalen, Mike Vrabel mentioned that you guys started to settle down as a defense after the first drive. What exactly allowed you guys to improve after that, and was there anything that you felt maybe did fall off a bit towards the end?
Yeah, we just started to play our ball. We started to figure it out. I mean, coming into the first game, playing against teams with new coaches, new coordinators, you don't really have too much of an idea what they're doing. You kind of do. You have like the basic gist of things, but you don't have like as many tendencies, And so you kind of got to go out there, the first 15, the script, see what they're doing. And then you're like, okay, we got to settle down, play our ball. The juices are flowing, home opener, everybody's turn. And we settled down, played our ball. Going into the second half, gave up too many explosives, and that was like the biggest thing, eliminating the X plays, tip my hat off to them boys. They did their thing, and we just got to eliminate those X plays.
Jalen, you mentioned the explosives. They had 11 plays, 19 yards or more. As you think back on those, was it more kind of their scheming up of your defense, or maybe miscommunication on your side? How would you kind of put
I would
the
say just
percentages
us,
there?
the details. At the end of the day, no matter what call, no matter what we in, that's on us. That's on us. That's on us. I take full blame. My dogs take full blame. That's on us. So we'll be better. We'll come back to work tomorrow, watch the tape, flush it, and then move forward.
Jalen, you talk about the big plays and what happened. How was the communication with you guys? You know, you didn't have Christian. You know, you lost your Brill to kind of start the season. What was the communication like throughout the game for you guys as you tried to battle?
The communication was good. I feel like the communication, everybody kind of was aligned and knew what they were doing. It's just the biggest thing is, like I said, honing in on the details and execution and executing. You know, executing. That's just the biggest thing. So, yeah.
Jalen, when you did get on the sideline in the first half, what did you find was their game plan, and then how did it evolve in the second half when obviously they got to move the ball again?
With them, you know, has tendencies of, you know, plays repeating and stuff like that, and then, you know, we got in a couple of different calls. They schemed some things up. They had a couple good plays planned, and you know, they executed. So we just didn't do what we were supposed to do. So that's that.
Thank you, Jalen.
Yep.
Robert Spillane is next.
Appreciate you.
Robert, obviously you guys got off to after you settled down, got off to a good start in that first half, won the half, didn't win the second half, which Mike preaches. Kind of what did you see from your perspective in that second half? They seemed to make some big plays, and what kind of hurt you as you went down the stretch?
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to have to look at the film and get the exact details on how we can clean up and learn from this and move on.
Robert, game one, year one of a new coach, new system, a lot of new faces like yourself here. What's the message in the locker room after something like this? You still have 16 more games to go and, you know, a long road ahead of you.
Yeah, we got a long road ahead of us. It's a brand new team, brand new year. This is one game. We got a big week ahead of us to bounce back from Miami.
What do you learn from this that you can take out of this and move into next week?
You know what? I'm really proud of how our guys fought. We need to clean up the details. We need to get tighter coverage and get home better on the rush and stop the run and do all those things. And this is a continual process. So we will get in here tomorrow and work on everything.
Hey, Robert. It seemed like after that first drive, you guys really seemed to settle in, get some pressure on the quarterback there. What can you build off of what you were able to do there late first quarter into the second quarter?
Yeah, we just need to stay with it. Like Coach Vrabel preaches, that second half is where games are won and lost, and we just didn't play well enough in the second half to get the job done.
Josh Brigadier.
Robert, thank you. What was it about Geno Smith today that made him so difficult to stop? It seemed like there were a lot of plays where he was almost stopped, but he kept them alive and was able to make plays.
Yeah, I think he did a great job with the RPO, getting linebackers sucked up, myself included, and finding the soft spots in the zones behind. And we got to get in the lab and focus on it because other teams are going to try to attack us this exact same way. They're watching the same film we're watching. I know Coach Vrabel and Coach T are going to have a great plan for us next week, and we're going to go forward with that.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, guys.
Keyshawn Booty should be next.
How y'all doing?
Keyshawn, just you guys got off to a good first half, what have you, then seemed to struggle in that second half. What do you think the difference was? What kind of, was it communication issues or just some of the reasons why you couldn't move the ball there when you needed to in the second half?
I just think we all really got to be on the same track more. I don't know if we felt settled in at halftime because we was up or what, but I mean, it's just, you know, the weather not exactly how we wanted. It's rainy. I just feel like we could have had more energy going into the second half.
Kayshawn, I mean, the weather was definitely a factor. It changed throughout the week. During practice this week and then coming into today, as it was not ideal conditions, did that impact you guys at all today, since you guys were preparing all week for a relatively nice day?
I mean, we expected rain, but I mean, I think everybody really controlled their part of the game. So I know for us as receivers in the rain, just focusing more on the ball, slippery balls, just different things like that. So I mean, that's pretty much it.
Kayshawn, career high 8 targets today, second straight game dating back to last season, more than 100 yards. I mean, do you feel like, I know last year wasn't with Drake, but do you feel like this is an extension of training camp, the chemistry you've built with Drake today, what you put out on the field?
Yes, sir. Like you said, we've been working since OTAs, so just traveling from OTAs to training camp, just keep putting in the work every day, day in, day out.
Kayshawn, how surprising was it to you about the energy in the second half, given what Coach Vrabel had talked about during the week about the importance of winning the second half in week 1?
I just feel like, as we all know, we obviously didn't win the second half. So, I mean, just got to look back at the film tomorrow, see where we could have been better at, just figure it all out.
In the end, there were some guys that had good production today, but it was 10 points. Not a lot of long shots down the field. How does that develop with this offense and with this team and with yourself?
I think they more of a zone team, so they just taking away the deep balls, playing everything underneath. And, that was pretty much their scheme going into this week. They kind of switched it up on us a little bit, but it was great for us to see. We just got to be able to adjust to it next time.
After all the work you put in, Kayshawn, as a group, how disappointing was it to not be able to come back and get the win? But also, what do you learn from this and you can take into next week down in Miami?
I wouldn't say it was disappointing, I just look at it like we can be better. Maybe we go back, watch film tomorrow. It's a couple plays that we left out on the field and can be better. But after we watch the film tomorrow, we go to Tuesday, put this game behind us, and just focus on next week. Yep.
Harold, kind of your thoughts on everything that took place today. You had 2.5 sacks. You had a good game, but not being able to finish second half and not being able to get it done as a group.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we came out with good energy. I felt like we settled down after that first drive, and I felt like you could see the glimpse of dominance that our defense has. And I think, Vray's been talking about it for several weeks now about, how this week one is going to come down to the second half. We've been emphasizing that a lot, and for whatever reason, we got to look at the film, but we didn't come out in the second half ready to take over the game and to win the game in the second half like how we've been practicing. But I mean, it's week one. Nobody in this league is going undefeated. We just got to come in ready to work tomorrow, learn from the corrections, and move forward and improve, and that's it.
Harold, I know it's probably hard to process right after the game, but the first drive of the game defensively and then the first drive of the second half, what do you take from those drives in terms of what they were able to do and then how you were able to sort of recover from that?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta look at the film. I know one of the keys on defense was not giving up X plays, and we gave up too many X plays today. I think we probably had a couple in both of those drives. And that's just something, we got to look at the film and figure out why they were happening and just make the correction. But yeah, I can't really speak too much on that without looking at the film first.
Harold, talking about the explosive plays, is that more execution on their side of things or maybe miscommunication, failed assignments on your side?
I mean, probably a little bit of both. I'm not sure. Like I said, we got to look at the film. I really can't speak on that right now, but you give it too many X plays in this league, it's hard to, those were the scoring drives lead from. So, yeah.
Harold, just how much can you build off of what you were able to do, after the interception late first quarter into the second quarter? There was a good stretch for the defense. How much can you build off of that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we all know on the defensive side of the ball, the sky's the limit for us. I think for us, it's just that consistency, snap in and snap out, and not having no lapses. But you can easily tell, we have so much potential on that side of the ball, and I think, like I said, we just got to come to work. Leaders got to lead, and we just got to come to work tomorrow, ready to improve, hunger to improve. But yeah, I mean, you could see it. This is an exciting defense. I'm excited to be a part of it. But like I said, we just got to be more consistent, snap in and snap out, and have no lapses.
Harold, I'm just curious what you kind of saw from the Raiders offensive line that kind of allows you to maybe get behind them a little bit more and kind of get in Gino's face a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that this game could be a game that we could dominate up front. I thought T had said it best, when he had talked to us before the game, how all week, we're talking about, who they have, and he's like, what, they need to be worried about who we have, and that really hit me. But I mean, we were prepared for this game. Felt like we had a great game plan. I felt like for the most part we went out there and executed. We just had too many lapses with X plays and not really making them earn it. But I felt like you could definitely see how dominant we could be up front, and I think we just got to come in here ready to work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? This is the NFL. It's on to the next week after you watch the film.
Harold, as someone who has experience with Mike Vrabel, I wondered just the next few days what his messaging is going to look like and what his corrections are going to look like with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be come in, be ready to work, make the correction, and you got to be hungry to improve. It's week one. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to be talking about this week in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? You got to be ready to make the corrections, be critical of yourself, and just find ways to improve and find a way to be more consistent. But I mean, Braves ain't going to change. He knows what it takes to win in this league, and he knows that the guys just got to come in here ready to work. Appreciate it.
Drake, obviously won the first half. Mike's been preaching to win the second half. Kind of what happened from your perspective where you weren't able to generate points with the offense, especially in the second half?
Yeah, I think we just gotta be better. I think my decision on the first drive coming out was the one that killed the drive, and then from there, on, we just gotta get the first down. I think once we kind of get the first down, I think we kind of moved the ball well, and got in a rhythm. And I think just adjusting from halftime. I think I could do a better job of getting the guys and making throws. And I thought the guys up front battled hard. I think they blocked them pretty well up front. I thought. And like I said, just get the first down, and from there, I think just make some better throws. Be more accurate. And I think getting points out of that first drive would have been huge.
Could you take us through the play that led to the interception?
Yeah. I think I thought I had Diggs, over on the right, and got to kind of look back at it on the film. You don't have a great look at it. I think I missed it high. I think I got to step into it more. I think I may have got hit up front, but that's just part of playing quarterback in this league. You got to step into the throw and take hits and be accurate. And there's plays throughout the game you wish you had back, and I can think of 3 or 4 from me that can help dictate the game. And it's just a bummer thinking back and looking back at those.
Drake, can you tell me what happened in the first half on the delay of game? It was 3rd and 12 at the Vegas 17. You guys broke the huddle with about 14 seconds. What happened there? It looked like maybe you were trying to change the play.
Yeah, just trying to get in. Trying to get into a good play. I think just got to be better with bring the back in the backfield, timing it up with the play clock. I saw it at the end, and I think I surprised Garrett. trying to get the ball. I think that's what happened. And just got to be more efficient getting out of the huddle. I think got to preach to those guys and give us more time to operate. I think that starts with me and getting those guys in the huddle, get them out of the huddle, kind of being efficient, and just going from there.
And how would you characterize your overall comfort level in Josh's offense in a real game for the first time?
Yeah, I felt pretty good out there. I thought I was seeing it well. Got to make some better throws, but kind of the first time, kind of adjusting from a halftime and coming in from there. Just got to be better on my part. I think down in the red zone and little things with details. 7 versus 3 is huge in this league, and just make every possession count. And I know there's times that we have looks that we like, and I can think of letting a couple rip that I should have right now. So just taking advantage of every possession and just trying to build those guys and, like I said, get the first down.
Drake, Mike in his opening remarks talked about kind of a sense of urgency and finding out, who the team was this upcoming week and facing, some adversity, and how committed you guys are going to be to getting better. How would you kind of describe this moment where it's only one game, but does it feel like there's an urgency to get better quickly?
Yeah, no doubt. I think there's urgency to, don't let this game, kind of bleed into the next. I think we got a chance with a division opponent. We're going down there, and anytime you're playing a division opponent, it matters. It means something. And you'll bounce back and realize that at the same time learn from it. Learn from as much as we can, but at the same time, it's one game, and we got to, get back, and it's a long season. So get back at it and, do what I need to do to, play better on my end and help guys around me play better. And then from there, just, lean into each other. I think that's the big thing around here. We spend so much time together, lean into each other and fix what we need to fix and learn from it, and hopefully, the goal is not to have it show up again.
Mike Vrabel mentioned in the second half that the Raiders were kind of switching up coverages and pressures. What did you see in the first half, and what were some ways they adjusted in the second that you may have noticed?
Yeah, I think any NFL team, they're going to try to adjust at halftime and just try to give mix up looks and bring some all-out pressure in the second half. So just having answers and just being quicker. I think just being quicker and make more throws. And I think it was maybe the second drive we out where they messed up the kickoff, and we had the ball in the 40, and I missed Hunt over the middle on the first down, and the second down I had a chance. So just plays like that, you don't realize that those plays are going to be the ones you look back on and feel like, man, if we hit those, it's a different ball game. So it's a bummer looking back at that now, but yeah, I think just adjusting to what they do, that's the part of the chess match of playing in the National Football League.
Drake, what did you see in the screen game, and how can you guys get more out of that going forward?
Yeah, I think those guys, something that you work on. I think it's something that can be, effective and impactful, and I think it's great to it's great when you got to establish the run and then make them panic drop. And then I think everything will kind of flow off establishing the run. I think they did a good job of stopping the run, and from there I think just time it up and kind of longer getting the drive. Sometimes screens work better, and the pass rush is coming, so just finding times when to call them and just trusting coach on when he's calling them and just try to execute.
Drake, I'm curious. It seemed like you were hitting multiple receivers today. It wasn't just like one guy you were going to for the most part. How important is it to have numerous guys you can go to at any time? And just what did you feel you got out of that receiver room today?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they brought it. I thought they were bringing energy on the sideline. I thought they were, being physical, getting open. I could have gave them some more chances to make plays. And you saw a lot of different guys make catches, and I think they're taking the challenge head on to be a great room and blocking the run game. And there's things they can clean up and things that we can clean up together. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that room can do. But yeah, just having everybody in the game plan and keeping everybody honest, not to just roll coverage over one guy or double team one guy. You got to have answers and have guys that make plays. And those guys thought they did that today.
Drake, obviously 10 points isn't enough in this league, but can you talk about it? It didn't seem there were a lot of, I don't know if there were opportunities or even attempts to make that explosive play, long play, very few. I know Kayshawn said something about them playing deep safeties. There just really wasn't an attempt to really look long.
Yeah, I think that's something that Coach Carroll and Graham have done in their career is kind of drop. Have eyes on the quarterback and not let you hit, the big play. And I think there was chances. Tonight I thought we had some, 20 or 20-plus plays, but, that's not a huge play. I think that just kind of let the game flow. And I think, try to get the ball out quick. They got a good edge rusher up front, and they changed. In the second half, they played a lot of, too high zone looks, and it's, tough to throw big plays, against that. So, no, I think I can think back at one or two times where I know would have had a big play.
Drake, you've talked about being a little bit too amped up at the beginning of games, maybe having some jitters. I think you missed DeMario on the first drive. Is that what was going on that play, or was something else?
No, I think just adjusting to the kind of the weather out there. I think, the first drive, I think you got teammates around you, and you're coming out there and, pregame and throwing and feeling good. So, I don't think that was the case. I felt good out there today. I feel like I had a good rhythm. Got in a good rhythm that second drive, and from there, just it was a boundary throw to pop, and just missing a little high. But from there, I thought I was seeing it well, and I don't think that was really. I felt pretty good out there on the first drive. Thank you, Drake.